Telegram Sam onwards are Marc and myself. None of the other group members could sing.
Telegram Sam was done first take, believe you me. I mean, we'd rehearsed it 3 or 4 times, and it was in Copenhagen. We'd gone into the studio and we'd gone through the stuff. And I remember at the end of it, I wasn't all that, convinced. And he said, no, that's fine, and we left it.
I always think that Telegram Sam, to me, probably my favourite T-Rex single. Just a great record. It's got attitude, it's got humour, it's got everything that Bowie and the Beatles used to do really well. This is taking a little bit of the Mickey out of the whole business.
What does it mean? What did he in the song that he called you? What does that mean?
I don't know.
No?
I know nothing. It's Papa Brad Beep, It's whatever you want.
One thing I didn't understand at the time was the fact that, of course, Telegram Sam was a song written about Marc's manager, Tony Secunda, hence the initials TS Telegram Sam and TS Tony Secunda, who became Marc's manager late in '71.
Telegram Sam was taken off the Slider album, and this saw Marc Bolan moving slightly more into the centre stage. By this time, Mickey Finn's contribution was a little bit lower down, and Marc Bolan was very much, I'm on the covers, look at me.
To be able to constantly write hit songs when you're under pressure and you're trying to tour and do stuff in between time, and all the other people around you. I mean, the more success you get, the more people seem to be added to the entourage, and to stay focused like Marc did at that time was absolute genius.
Bang, 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 it's all coming out there now. You can really feel T-Rex is a particular thing, and I think all these things are pointing to a high point where he's really coming into his own. He's defined in sound, he's defined what T-Rex is, and he's just, it's writing, it's all coming through.
Metal Guru, yes, that was another one of the string of hits that Marc had that after a while began to, you began to think, well, what is a Metal Guru, You sort of started to lose a bit of patience with him. I mean, if you weren't fond of Marc and you weren't into the music, I can imagine people saying, what is this stuff, Metal Guru, what does it all mean? The answer was, it didn't really mean an awful lot, but it sounded good.
Metal Guru was reviewed somewhere as Mental Guru, and Marc thought that was a fantastic title for it.
Metal Guru, is it you? Metal Guru, is it you? Sitting there in your already chair. Metal Guru, is it true? Metal Guru, is it true?
I liked it on reflection more now than I did at the time. At the time, I sort of took me more of a time to understand it. I think it was again slightly heavier. He started to sort of want to rock it a bit more, and I always thought Metal Guru was the beginning of him trying to get more of a group feel on it, because if you listen to it, the Telegram Sams and all those Jeepsters things, they were very pop, straight pop, and I just think that with Metal Guru, he started to get more rocky.
The whole beginning to the track with the vocal, all that was just copied by a plethora of 70s bands, His sound was really there, the 70s sound of the 70s.
Metal Guru was another #1 hit for T-Rex, and it was one really at that stage. The whole sort of T-Rex phenomenon was it was there, it was established, and Marc Bolan was really reveling with his feather boa and the glitter and everything, and he was still trying to crack that American market, and it just wasn't happening. They just weren't grasping this song, and Metal Guru was it was this real sort of happy, cheery, sing-along kind of song, and they just weren't understanding it. But the British fans, they thought it was great.
There's a whole string of tunes which he seemed to be churning out almost to order, really.
When someone's at their peak and you every other week you're at Top of the Pops, and you're at Wembley you're the first band to sell at Wembley Arena since the Monkees and the Beatles. You know, in those days the capacity was 8,000, and we did 2 shows on a Saturday. You know, that's a highlight.
When the T-Rextasy thing was kicking in super treble mega, you know, you'd have kind of the Lord Mayor would come with his or her children, you know, into the dressing room wearing this big old chain thing, you know, and would invariably get stoned inadvertently because, you know, Mark didn't smoke Jazz Woodbines, but I certainly did, you know. And these people would go out there well wafted, you know, and then dig the gig.
Metal Guru, is it you?
This is the peak of T-Rextasy. We could do no wrong. The press hadn't turned on us yet. The singles were selling 20 to 50,000 copies a day, and you could see the look in Mark's eye, and everyone was just oozing with confidence.
We play for the kids that never saw the Beatles, never saw Jimi Hendrix. They're seeing us as those sort of people, you know, because they never saw it, they weren't around then. The average age of the audience is 15. 16, you know.
I definitely remember the whole sort of feeling at school with my school friends was that we were all still T-Rex fans, and so, you know, Metal Guru I thought was a great song, and was definitely sort of one of the T-Rex at their very best songs.
Yeah, Metal Guru, is it you? Yeah, Metal Guru, is it you?
Bolan change? Yeah, he changed. We all changed, you know. It's a wild thing to happen to one person. All this acclaim, people genuflecting in front of you, telling you that not only are you wildly successful, but you're a brilliant poet, and you're a brilliant this, and you're a brilliant that.
I think the arrogance, of course, started to come in around late 71, when the deal with Straight Ahead was ending.
Mark wanted total control of what he was recording, the business side of things, the financial side of things.
When Mark started his own record label, he seemed to be overburdened with too many things. It was, in the early days, he was just a recording artist, but now he was an entrepreneur, a record label CEO, and really having more meetings about money and the running of the company than actually having time to sit down and write.
And when I'm sad, I slide.
The Slider album was on T-Rex label. Slider was basically recorded in France, maybe the Chateau de Rouville. I think it was recommended to Mark by Elton, who had done a Honky Chateau album over there. And we went over there on a couple of occasions.